Hello friend, welcome. In this video, I'm talking about the 10 groceries that I tend to stick to week in and week out. And I have found that when I stick to these 10 groceries, it really cuts our budget and it helps us to stay nice and healthy. So the first thing that I have on my list is fruits. In this bowl, you can see that there's a variety of fruits. There's oranges, apples, and even some lemons. I have a selection of bananas. Most of them are being eaten as the week goes by. I do obviously change these around every single week. So I have found that just by rotating different types of fruits, this keeps it interesting and we can try to eat whatever is in season. Also, the vegetable section, this time I just had a red cabbage and some greens. But I do sometimes have frozen vegetables, carrots, broccoli, cauliflower, all sorts. The same principle applies like with the fruits. I just try to rotate different things every week. And again, that just makes it more interesting. Make sure that you're eating what's available according to the season. I next, in the protein section, I would most weeks have a full chicken, a couple of packs of minced meat. Because we're a family of 5, sometimes the chicken might be 2 large chickens, 2 packs of the mince, and then like maybe 2 packs of eggs. So that could be 12 or 24 eggs. We do get through quite a few. As you may already know, protein is absolutely vital for your development, especially if you have developing children. You really do need these good sources of protein. Obviously, if you're on a strict diet, I know that some people can't consume these sources of protein, then you can find something else to replace it with if you're vegetarian or if you observe other types of diets. Then in the dairy section, I would make sure that I have at least some butter and some milk. Again, with those, we can do so much. We can make pancakes, scones. We like to make mandazi, chapati. If you've never tried those, you don't know what they are. On my live, I have made chapatis, quite a big bulk lot. You can watch that, it's quite fun. I do plan to do a recipe and to make mandazi as well. So that will be such fun. Please subscribe and I'll notify you when I'm doing that. In the carbohydrate section, I would always make sure that I pick up some flour. That would be both plain and self-raising flour. Again, like I said, you can make so much with those. I've already listed and given you a few ideas of some of the things that we use the flour for. And lastly, I would always make sure that I have pasta and rice. Any other sources of carbohydrates are fine. The same principle here applies with my carbohydrate sources. I do rotate them around. So some weeks they will be in their potatoes. Potatoes are great. You can rotate that as well. We also have, as an African family, we would also sometimes have ugali flour, which is basically a maize meal, like a cornmeal flour. And you can use that to make ugali, which is kind of like a dough, and then you use it you can have it with stew and vegetables. It's really yummy. Also, we will sometimes have fufu, which for some people you might know it. If you've ever tried African food, fufu is quite nice. It's usually either made out of plantain or cocoyam. Again, these are great carbohydrate sources. And again, you can have it with soup. It's really, really delicious. So rotating the carbohydrate sources, I find really, really helps. With the carbohydrates, with the pasta, we can do, for example, pasta with chicken, pasta with the corned beef. We can do rice with chicken. We can do rice with the corned beef. We can add, you use the eggs and be a little bit creative with that, as long as you have your carbohydrate sources like egg fried rice, quite nice as well. I'm sure somebody will tell us. I would love it if you guys can give us some ideas of what you can make out of these 10 things. Is there anything on this list that you think isn't necessary or that you would add? Again, this is, like I said, it's just a base essentials that I try to make sure before I add any other stuff into my basket that I've covered this. And then anything else is just an extra. I hope this helps. Take care. Love you. Bye.